You've just gotten yourself an old new bike, but it's not running right and it's sounding like this. When in reality, you want it sounding a little something like this. Today's updated video is a quick inspection of the carb itself, as well as a guide on how I tune my two-stroke dirt bike. Today we're looking at the KN carburetor of my KDX 125 SR. I just want to confirm that the float height is correct, as well as that it has the correct main jet and pilot jet. So let's get into it. While we're here, we'll give it a clean as well. Okay, so there is residue in the bottom of this. We'll need to clean that out. I hope this is visible. It says 115 on the main jet. This is correct to spec. The pilot jet, however, we're going to have to pull out and see if it has any markings on. There's our pilot jet, that says number 48 on, which is also within spec. This is stock spec. Perfect. So there's that 115 again on that main jet. So you'll see there's a pin there that's busy moving. We don't want to push that in. We want to move the actual needle. So where it sits is where we'll measure. Okay, I'm going to go within spec here, which is 19. Now, let's measure this. So our float is sitting way above what it should be, way above. So we need to bend this little tab on the center, bend that up, bring this down to 19. Okay, that's seating. That is perfect. Right on the 19 mils. Spot on. Okay, while we're here, let's give this carb a clean. So you see this more in older bikes. Older air filters don't do as well a job, or fuel tank is holding some residue of rust or something like that, and you get gunk that sits in the carb. So let's give that a clean. We'll spray through all these passages, not through the back, through the front. You can also see some gunk here, so let's get that sorted. Okay, you'll always want to rebuild your carb on a nice clean piece of shop towel. Each part now will get blown out with the air compressor. So here's our mixture screw. According to the specs, this must be 1.5 turns out, which it is. I checked that. You just need to tweak it down. You don't have to tighten up real hard. Same thing with the pilot screw. Perfect. Not too hard ever. Next thing to inspect is just make sure that the needle is good. That one's still good. We'll pop that back in. Let's go fit this to the bike.
Here I am coming right out of pit lane at one of our races. Here you can hear the bike revs right through. I've got no bogging, no issues. The only issue I really had was that this carb didn't have a choke. That was a fault of my own. The little plunger had broken. It was so expensive to find that little part that I thought to myself, I'd rather make a plan. And I did. Worked for about 3 years, worked really well, but I decided to treat myself. I got the KDX a new pipe, and I thought I'll put on a new carb. So that gives me the opportunity to show you guys how I tune my carb. Other reasons why you need to tune and jet your two-stroke dirt bike, maybe altitude, maybe engine mods, anything that involves fueling will need this adjustment. Now before we go ahead and tune, I just wanted to show you guys how nicely this two-stroke goes at a race. For a little 125, it's actually extremely torquey. We had huge mud sections at these races and bikes were getting bogged left and right. The 125 is nice and light. I was floating over the mud, keeping the RPM steady. You're going to hear the RPMs a little bit lower here, but listen to the torque of this two-stroke. It's not losing any speed, we're just maintaining a good steady RPM. The second I'm out of the mud bogs, I can let it rev again and have a little bit of fun. But too high RPM and you're looking for trouble in the mud. Ah man, I love a 125 two-stroke. Let's get into the tuning. Let me show you the new pipe. I've got a local legend to make me up a custom pipe, and I can safely say this is one of the best upgrades I've done on the KDX. Talking of upgrades, this is one of the most beautiful ones. This is my brand new PWK 28 carb over here. It's a flat slide carb. It's just going to help us atomize that fuel just a little bit better. Doubt it will give us more top end, but it should give us a little bit more bottom grunt.
Here you can see my idle adjustment screw with an old spring. This big brass nut that I was using so that I didn't have any air leaks, lost the ability for choke. So yeah, not so nice. The new one, we've got a nice new set screw over here. Got a nice choke that will stay up, stay down. Here you can see that Venturi close up.
This is the pilot jet. It deals with idle. We typically leave this alone. Any adjustment happens on the idle adjustment screw outside the carb. Then we've got our main jet. You want to go ahead and get a whole bunch of these to make sure that you're running extra rich, and then we're going to be leaning out as we're tuning. Then we've got our slide with our needle attached. This meters fuel and air. The needle itself deals with the mid-range. To remove and adjust your needle, super easy. Undo a clip, pop your needle itself out, and you'll see there's 5 little spots where you can move your circlip. Typically, I leave it in the center as soon as I'm testing out a jet, and then I adjust up or down depending how that jet is looking. Now you need to remember that your main jet and your needle work together. The needle slides in and out of the main jet. When it's all the way out, you're at wide open throttle. That is your full main jet putting as much fuel as it can, and anything below that, when the needle's coming in, that's what's being adjusted. A good example, if you're running a little bit lean and you want to rich your mixture up, you're going to start with your clip in the middle position, and if you go one click down or another click down, that's richening the mixture up. If you go the other way, so you go with the clip towards the top, you're leaning it out. You're dropping that needle further into the main jet. Enough mumbo jumbo. This is the carb on the bike. Let's get it tuned. I don't know what's going on with the RPM gauge at the moment. Just ignore that. Let's go. So here, my idle didn't need any adjustment right out of the box. Really happy with that. But I have started off with a 135 main jet. Now before we did the pipes, I started off with a 115 main jet, so we got quite a bit bigger. But every time we err on the side of the engine being rich, you don't run into any chances of damaging the engine. If you run that engine too lean, you are going to do some engine damage, so please be careful. Here you can hear what they call four-stroking. Now you can slowly start dialing it back until we get to the perfect air-fuel mixture. And trust me, the bike's going to start to sing when it's happy. The method I'm using to see if I'm running too lean is I'll run the bike at wide open throttle, turn the engine off, coast to the side, pull the plug out and inspect it. Now there's tons of charts online, just Google it. You want to see what a lean condition plug looks like and a rich condition plug, and when you pull your plug out you want to compare it to those. Once again, like I said, too lean and you're going to cause damage. Too rich, the only thing you'll get is less performance. Now I'm not going to lie to you guys, this wasn't a quick process. It took me about a week of tuning. I was up and down the road, getting it right, making sure it's right. This is the beauty of a 125, guys. You can actually remove this plug in a matter of minutes. Not even. It's looking quite right, to be honest. Woo. A little on the hot end. I always err on the side of rich, just so that I don't cause any engine damage, especially on my beautiful 30-year-old KDX 125. We've just got a little bit of bob in the mid-range now, which means we're going to have to start playing some different settings, not our main bit. I think it would be a good idea just to go around one more time, just feel the bike, see how it's going. We'll recheck that plug then. That's on. That's good love, baby. You can actually see I'm running richer by the amount of fuel and oil that's still coming out the exhaust pipe. So after going lower and lower on the jets, one jet at a time, checking the plug every time, when you finally get it right, she's going to run a little something like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've had the KDX for about 4 years and I'm so glad that I finally have it running right, and I hope that you can have your dirt bike running just the same. If you want to see the mods that I've done to the KDX, click on this video, or if you want to see its top speed, click over here. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next video.